Hi, welcome to harjaa horooj, البودكاست اللي حنهرج فيه مرة كتير. Today's episode is going to discuss motivation. Before we get into today's episode, I want to discuss the actual definition of motivation. What is motivation? So Google defines motivation as the external or internal driving force that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. I always ask myself, where does motivation come from? I want to know the source of my motivation personally. I want to know what makes me strive to be the best or do better or do my best or whatever. And personally for me, I think the main driver of motivation is envy. Not envy in and itself, or the way envy is perceived, like this green goblin monster that wants what everyone has, but more of like, I strive to be what you are and I strive to achieve what you have achieved. Surrounding yourself by people that have achieved really impressive things is, for me, I think the number one thing that sparks my motivation. If you are always surrounded by people that are more so at the same level as you are, you're never gonna strive for excellence. So obtaining motivation isn't difficult, but the real dilemma is maintaining motivation, which is why I kind of divided motivation into two segments. You have long-term motivation and you have short-term motivation. So first we're gonna discuss short-term motivation. So let's take this as an example. You're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and you see a really super skinny girl, super duper skinny. Her waist this tiny. I think that post sparks short-term motivation. You see that post and you start spiraling. You're like, oh my god, her body so T, goals مدري ايش, I want to achieve what she's achieved. خلاص ما عاد اكل ما عاد اشرب gym مدري ايش, I'm gonna start doing Pilates. You start looking and scrolling through gym memberships. All of that spiraling, بعدين تنامي وتصحي, it's gone. It's not even short-term motivation. It's literally a millisecond of motivation. So short-term motivation is, from its name, short, but it comes back every so often. Every few weeks or so, you find yourself scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, and seeing similar posts of someone with hair goals that you're trying to achieve or a certain build that you're trying to achieve. Now, long-term motivation kind of has the same beginning and it starts off the same, but it lasts longer. If you constantly surround yourself by overachievers, people that are goal-oriented, people that are passionate, there is no way that you don't end up being the same. Especially in an academic setting, you have to surround yourself by people who are constantly achieving. That is gonna spark the long-term motivation in you. But if every so often you bump into an overachiever in whatever academic setting you're in, it's gonna motivate you, yes, but it's gonna be a short-term spark of motivation. And short-term motivation is dangerous. Why? Because it always starts off so strong. Like I said with my example of being super duper thin and skinny, you might start off with a big bang. I'm not eating, no, I'm literally never gonna put a piece of food in my mouth again, It might start off really strong and it withers away just as fast as it started. It's because it was a spark of motivation. It was a quick glance at something you want to achieve. You're not constantly surrounded by it. Whereas if you're constantly surrounded by achievers and people that are goal-oriented, there's no way you don't end up being the same. إذا في شيء أنت فعلا تبغي توصلي, it has to be all you're surrounded by. Short-term motivation, it feels euphoric. You feel like there's nothing you can't do. You really feel like, this time, no, I'm gonna stick to it and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna get it done. And then you kind of wake up the next day and all the motivation is gone. And speaking of motivation, I feel like we can't really talk about motivation without speaking about a secondary topic, which I don't really have a name for, but I kind of want to label it as being the best syndrome. Having this quote-unquote syndrome that I have just now prescribed and declared a real syndrome is when the only thing that motivates you is that you want to be the best. And when you realize that you're not actually the best, the motivation withers away and you stop caring. And all I have to say to that is that you don't have to be the best to be good. مو بس عشان في أحد تاني ماخذ مركز أحسن واحد or الفirst أو الأول or whatever means إنه أنتي مو كويسة as well. When the only thing motivating you to reach a certain goal or achieve something is that you want to be the best or you want to be number one, that motivation can really easily dissolve when you're not deemed number one or the best or the title that you feel you deserve. Which is why you really just have to focus on doing your best. You don't have to focus on being the best, just focus on doing your best. It's like saying you're never gonna try track عشان Usain Bolt is faster than you and you're never gonna reach مرحلة Usain Bolt. انت تشتغلك في Usain Bolt عادي. Wait, you don't have to be as fast as Usain Bolt. You can just be fast. You can just be really good at running. You can just be a really fast girl. You don't have to be the fastest girl. You can just be fast. The point I'm trying to convey is that you really don't have to be the best to be doing your best. You can just try to do your best. Okay, that was the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. إذا عجبتكم الحلقة, make sure to like and subscribe. إذا ما عجبتكم الحلقة, it's okay, I'll get you next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you have any podcast topics that you want me to talk about, you want me to discuss, let me know, because I am open to talking about a lot of different things. صراحة مرة أبغى أتوسع في podcast topics. I feel like lately I feel like I've only really been talking about like motivational stuff and how to be confident, how to do your best, how to da-da-da. فإنشاءالله في Ramadan I really do want to talk about more religious topics. Actually, I really do love مرة like horooj الدين, my favorite. So let me know if there's any specific topic you guys want me to discuss or you would like to hear me talk about, and I will talk. راح أرجع عنها. Bye.
harjaa wa horooj.